The Loreley is a river monster. This movie was made in Spain, but it's set in Germany. She comes out of the Rhine River and she turns into a green monster and she rips out people's hearts. And there is a bard, a blind violin player, who's going around and telling everyone about the Loreley. And then there's a scientist, and that's my favorite part. I say over and over again, there's a bullshit science element to this film, which can't be defined by science. What he's managed to learn with his room full of scientific equipment that does nothing is that there's a knife that can kill this Loreley, which is centuries and probably millennia old, this monster, because at the end, she brings in Valhalla and some Norse mythology when you finally get the lore. So this scientist has got a knife that can kill her, but he doesn't use it. When she comes, she's got a human henchman. This is unusual. Usually if you have a cryptid, even if it's a person turning into a werewolf, they're not aware of what they're doing when they're killing. The Loreley's very aware. She comes and kills the bard because he's telling her story. She comes and kills the scientist, or rather she has her Igor type guy to kill him while she burns his paperwork on a Bunsen burner. How would she know how to use a Bunsen burner when she lives in a river? These are the things that you just shouldn't think about. The center of this story, such as it is that in this town that's being plagued by the Loreley, there's a girls' boarding school, but you don't see them do any school. They mostly swim in a pool. It must be a heated pool because when the people in the town are talking outside, you can see their breaths. So it's cold, but these girls spend all their time in the pool. And the school has like a matron who's kind of understanding and then an under boss who's very uptight. And they hire this great hunter to come and kill the Loreley. And you can tell he's a great hunter because he's got a tight white leisure suit made of denim, and he's got a tight brown leisure suit made of velour. And he makes the girls go crazy. And the uptight underling boss of the school is obviously attracted to him in the way that makes her be rude to him and say that he's got to sleep in a moldy garage and he can't swim in the pool with the girls because it wouldn't be proper. And this drives him right into the arms of the Loreley because he's like, fine, I'll go swim over here in the river. Waka chicka, watcha. He walks over there and he meets the Loreley in her, riverweed bikini. And this movie, if I had to get symbolic about it, okay, first of all, it was taught clearly in college by a professor that I had for 2 different literature classes that water represents women's sexuality. This movie is full of water. You've got a big river. It's a very deep river, enough that you can dive down into it, and there's some kind of structure they called a grotto, I believe, where the Loreley and her Igor and 3 other women live all the time. There's the pool. There's a bathtub that some of the students are getting sort of sapphic in. They don't really mind that they're kept away from men and this hunter because they're just going to do it with each other, which is fine. And it's a movie about sexual frustration. The Loreley starts getting together with the hunter and he takes off this necklace that she's wearing, after which she either gets really excited or starts dying. I'm not sure which. But then her Igor comes along and carries her away before she can have sex with the hunter. And the Loreley kills a bride on the night before her wedding who's standing at her window, who is wearing her veil and has just sent away her groom who's throwing pebbles at her window because she says he's not supposed to see her before the wedding. The Loreley would like to take a human lover forever and ever, but what we're told is that they keep getting old and dying. So it's all about frustration, this movie. The underling boss of the school who is frustrated, and it manifests in her acting out against the hunter. Then there's a love triangle between her and the hunter and the Loreley, and twice the Loreley is not able to kill her. And I don't know much of what else to say. There's some gore with close-ups of the hearts being torn out. There's some of just the Loreley wiping blood on people instead of actually slashing them with her claws. There's a not bad scene towards the end of her transforming from a woman into the Loreley. You gotta love the stop motion monster transformation scenes. And I will say, on a personal note, that I like to read Wikipedia when I'm watching a movie. I like to follow the plot. God bless those people that have gone and written out the plot to every single movie you can ever imagine on Wikipedia. But whoever had last edited this one said there was a horde of women under the river with the Loreley, but they spelled it Hoard. So I went in, because anyone can edit Wikipedia, and I changed it to Horde, a horde of women. But then it got to that part of the movie, and there wasn't a horde of women. There were only 3 women, but they were hoarding treasures and gold that they had stolen from all the sailors that they had killed over the millennia. So maybe that's where the confusion was. But if I see a wrong homonym being used and I can edit it, I'm going to, just for my own satisfaction. And so maybe check out the Loreley's Grasp if you also are into the je ne sais quoi of European horror. It is on Tubi. If you like better movies, start with the Blind Dead series by Armando de Osorio. Specifically, the second one in the series, I think, is the best. And have a good afternoon. Stay out of the water.